Krishna. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, the personified energy of Sri Chaitanya's mercy, who deliver devotional service, which is enriched with conjugal love of Radha and Krishna. Coming exactly in the line of revelation of Srila Rupa Goswami. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, who are the personified teaching of Lord Chaitanya. You are the deliverer of the fallen souls. You do not tolerate any statement which is against the teaching of devotional service enunciated by Srila Rupa Goswami. So today we are celebrating the auspicious appearance day of His Divine Grace, A.C. BhaktiSiddhant Saraswati Thakur, the spiritual master of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He was the son of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, a great acharya in the line of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. His prominent contributions are in the form of his writings, 64 Gaudiyamats, and giving the world a disciple, Srila Prabhupada, who preached the message of Lord Chaitanya all over the world. Srila BhaktiSiddhant Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada was born in 1873 at Jagannath Puri. His father, Kedarnath Dutt Bhaktivinoda Thakur, was a magistrate of the city and superintendent of the Jagannath temple. In his later years, Bhaktivinoda founded and conducted Namhata, a traveling preaching program that spread theology and practice of Chaitanya throughout rural and urban Bengal by means of discourses, printed materials, and Bengali songs of his own compositions. He also opposed what he saw as up-sampradayas, or numerous distortions of the original Chaitanya teaching. He is credited with the rediscovery of the lost site of Chaitanya's birth in Mayapur near Navadvip, which he commemorated with a prominent temple. Srila BhaktiSiddhant Saraswati Thakur was educated in Calcutta and became learned in mathematics and astronomy. In his childhood, he once took a mango, which was meant as an offering for the deity, when his father rebuked him, saying that he should not have taken the fruit which was meant for the Lord. The child took it very seriously and thought himself a great offender, promising not to take mango again throughout his whole life. This is something that we can learn. We take a vow, we should never deviate it. If we follow just that instruction, our life will become successful. He was known as Bimal Prasad Dutt before his renunciation, on account of his writing a book on astronomy known as Surya Siddhanta. He received the title Siddhanta Saraswati. And when he took sannyas, preaching the gospel of Lord Chaitanya, he was known as Srila BhaktiSiddhant Saraswati Thakur. He was acclaimed a great scholar in Calcutta, and the celebrated Dr. Kalidas Nag used to call him a living encyclopedia. Reminiscence, Srila BhaktiSiddhant Saraswati Thakur. We are put to test and trial in this world. Only those who attain the kirtan of the devotees can succeed. Every spot on the earth where discourses on God are held is a place of pilgrimage. 3. Possession of object not related to Krishna is our main malady. 4. Let me not desire anything but the highest good for my worst enemies. 5. As dalliance with the body in luxury increases, so wins the spirit of service of the Lord. Hari Bol. 6. Those favored by God find their path set by thorns. 7. There is no peace or happiness in our worldly life. Circumstances create turmoil and annoyance. 8. Chant the Mahamantra loudly and with attachment. This will drive away inertia, worldly evils, and pests. 9. Be indifferent to bazaar gossip. Stick firmly to your cherished goals. No lack or impediments of the world will ever stand in your way. Hari Bol. 10. Pay due respect to the extroverts of the world, but do not be appreciative of their manners and conduct. They are to be shaken off from your mind. 11. A devotee feels the presence of God everywhere, but one averse to the Lord denies his existence anywhere. 12. You cannot appreciate transcendental matters with the reasoning of the world. It is sheer nonsense to decry them with the measuring stick of your intellect. Hari Bol. 13. To recite the name of Sri Krishna is bhakti. 14. Life is for the glorification of topics on Hari. If that is stopped, then what need is there to carry on life? Hari Bol. 15. Physical illness with Hari Bhajan is preferred to physical fitness without Hari Bhajan. Hari Bol. 16. Our span of life on earth is short. Our life will be crowned with success if the body wears out with constant discourse on Lord Sri Hari. 17. We are here on earth not to work as artisans for making big buildings with wood and stone, but to work only as a messenger for the teaching of Sri Chaitanya Dev. 18. A sycophant is neither a guru or a preacher. Hari Bol. The spelling is like S, because I don't know I pronounce that word properly. Sycophant. Sycophant. I hope that I'm pronouncing properly. Number 19. To transform the adverse desire of the jivas is the supreme duty of the most merciful. To rescue one person from the stronghold of Mahamaya is an act of super benevolence, far superior to opening innumerable hospitals. Try to help someone to elevate their consciousness. That's the greatest service we can do. Help the devotees to come to the higher level. Krishna will be very pleased. 20. Unless we are devoted to God, secularism shall not leave us. 21. Look within, amend yourself, rather than pry into the frailties of others. Never look upon. Don't criticize anybody. Don't look at fault of anybody. There are so many things within us that we should be looking and try to improve. 22. In this world of Maya, averse to the Lord, full of trials and tribulations, only patience, humility and respect for others are our friends for Hari Bhajan. Hari Bol. 23. Lord Gaura Sundar puts his devotees in various difficulties and association to taste their patience and strength of the mind. Success depends on their good fortune. Hari Bol. 24. When faults in others misguide and delude you, how patient, introspect, find faults in yourself. Know that others cannot harm you unless you harm yourself. What a wonderful. And 25th advice, I wish that every selfless, tender-hearted person of Gaudiya Math will be prepared to shed 200 gallons of blood for the nourishment of the spiritual cause of every individual of this world. So these are the profound advice BhaktiSiddhant Saraswati Maharaj has given us. So now we should also dwell on the life of, let me see, disappearance. Give me a minute. So we'll be dwelling in the life of Purushottam Das Thakur. Sorry, I got to this. Just bear with me. Yes. The 23rd and 24th prominent devotees of Nityanand Prabhu were Sadasiv Kaviraj and his son Purushottam Das, who was the 10th Gopal. Since birth, Purushottam Das was merged into the service of the lotus feet of Lord Nityanand Prabhu, and he was always engaged in childish play with Lord Sri Krishna. Chaitanya Charitamrita Lila 11.839. Sri Sadasiv Kaviraj was extremely fortunate, and his son's name was Sri Purushottam Das. He was never externally conscious of his material body. Nityanand Chandra enacted many pastimes from within his heart. Very well. Purushottam Thakur had three main disciples, Sri Madhavacharya, Sri Yadavacharya, and Devkinandan Das, who were born in Kulina Brahman families. Madhavacharya married Nityanand Prabhu's daughter, Ganga Devi. Devkinandan Das was the author of the book Vaishnava Vandane. Purushottam Thakur's Sripat was previously at Sukhsagar. Now his deities are at Chandriya Gram. The temple is called Vishnu Janvapat. Perhaps this is due to the fact that Kanai Thakur, the son of Purushottama, was the adopted son of Sri Janva Mataji. And Sri Purushottam Thakur was the cowherd boy named Stota Krishna in Krishna Lila. Haribol. Let's see something more we can find. taking little time to load up something. I think other one is on the, some they have on the Facebook and like that, and I'm not into the Facebook or the what the other other platform. I never get involved into those things, so this is the, I think that's all about it. Stota Krishnadas. So I think what is the time? 6:44. Haribo. I think let's read a little bit from the Prabhupada Lilamrita. That will really nice to dwell on Srila Prabhupada life with BhaktiSiddhant Saraswati Maharaj. So that would be very nice. I will read one paragraph that we were reading on Friday. So it would be nice to bring up to the speed and then we will continue. Although Prabhupada was a stranger to America, they were stranger to absolute knowledge. Whenever anyone would come to see him, he wouldn't waste time. He talked philosophy, reason, and argument. He constantly argued against atheism and impersonalism. He spoke strongly to prove the existence of God and the university of Krishna consciousness. He talked often and vigorously day and night, meeting all kinds of questions and philosophies. So we will continue. I think anybody would like to speak to me during the daytime, please welcome, so that way I can stay awake, because I haven't slept at all last night. So I hope that I can stay awake. Otherwise, if I sleep during the day, then again, the sleep will get disturbed. I want to bring to my regular routine. He wanted listen also, and he heard a wide range of local testimonies. He heard the dissatisfaction of young Americans with the war and with American society. One boy told him he didn't want to get married because he couldn't find a chaste girl. It was better to go with prostitutes. Another confided that his mother had planned to abort him, but at the last moment, his grandmother had convinced her not to. He heard from homosexuals. Sometime told him that a set of New Yorkers consider it cheap to eat the flesh of aborted babies. And in every case, he told them the truth. He talked with Marxists and explained that although Marx says that everything is the property of the state, the fact is that everything is the property of God. Only, quote, spiritual communism, unquote, which puts God in the center, can actually be successful. He discounted LSD visions as hallucinations and explained how God can be seen factually and what good God looks like. Although this one-time visitor came and went away, a few new friends began to stay on. Watching the Swami deal with different guests, they began to appreciate the Swami's arguments, his concern for people, and his devotion to Krishna. He seemed actually to know how to help people, and he invariably offered them Krishna consciousness as much as they could take as the solution to their problems. If you begin to take the Swami's message to the heart, quote, we shall call our society ISKCON, unquote. Prabhupada had laughed playfully when he first coined the acronym. He had initiated a legal work of incorporation that spring while still living on the Bowery. But even before its legal beginning, he had been talking about this International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And so it had appeared in letters to India and in the Village Voice. A friend had suggested a title that would sound more familiar to Westerners, International Society for God Consciousness. But Prabhupada had insisted Krishna consciousness. God was a vague term, whereas Krishna was exact and scientific. God consciousness was spiritually weaker, less personal. And if Vishnu didn't know that Krishna was God, then the International Society for Krishna Consciousness would tell them by spreading his glories in every town and village. Krishna consciousness was Prabhupada's own rendering of a phrase from Srila Rupa Goswami's Padyavali, written in the 16th century. Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita, to be absorbed in the mellow taste of executing devotional service to Krishna. But to register ISKCON legally as a non-profit, tax-exempt religion required money and a lawyer. Carl Jurgens had already gained some experience in forming religious, political, and social welfare groups. And when he had met Prabhupada on the Bowery, he had agreed to help. He had contacted his lawyer, Stephen Goldsmith. Stephen Goldsmith, a young Jewish lawyer with a wife and 2 children, and an office on Park Avenue, was interested in spiritual movements. When Carl told him about Prabhupada's plan, he was immediately fascinated by the idea of setting up a religious corporation for an Indian Swami. He visited Prabhupada at 26th Avenue, and then they discussed incorporation, tax exemption, Prabhupada immigration status, and Krishna consciousness. Mr. Goldsmith visited Prabhupada several times. Once he brought his children who liked the soup the Swami cooked. He began attending the evening lectures, where he was often the only non-hippie member of the congregation. One evening, having completed all the legal groundwork and being ready to complete the procedure for incorporation, Mr. Goldsmith came to Prabhupada's lecture and kirtan to get signature from the trustee for the new society. July 11, Prabhupada is lecturing. Mr. Goldsmith, wearing slacks and a shirt and a tie, sits on the floor near the door, listening earnestly to the lecture, despite the distracting noises from the neighborhood. Prabhupada had been explaining how scholars mislead innocent people with non-devotional interpretation of the Bhagavad Gita. And now, in recognition of the attorney's respectable presence, and as if to catch Mr. Goldsmith's attention better, he introduces him into the subject of the talk as follows. I will give you a practical example of how things are misinterpreted. Just like our president, Mr. Goldsmith, he knows that expert lawyers, by interpretation, can do so many things. When I was in Calcutta, there was a rent tax passed by the government, and some expert lawyer changed the whole thing by his interpretation. The government had to reenact a whole law because the purpose was foiled by the interpretation of this lawyer. So we are not out for foiling the purpose of Krishna, for which the Bhagavad Gita was spoken. But unauthorized persons are trying to foil the purpose of Krishna. Therefore, that is unauthorized. All right, Mr. Goldsmith, you can ask anything. Mr. Goldsmith stands, and to the surprise of the people gathered, he makes a short announcement asking for signer on an incorporation document for the Swami's no religious movement. Prabhupada, they are present here. You can take the addresses now. Mr. Goldsmith, I can take them now, yes. Prabhupada said, yes, you can. Bill, you can give your address. And Raphael, you can give yours. And Don, Roy, Mr. Green. As the meeting breaks up, those called on to sign as a trustee come forward, standing around in this little storefront, waiting to leaf curiously through the pages the lawyer had produced from his thin attaché, and to sign as he directs. Yet not a soul among them is committed to Krishna consciousness. They are so sometimes merciful. I remember that I was not initiated, but I think in 1990, Kamal Krishna Maharaj made me the board of director for the legal board of Houston Temple. Very merciful personalities. And you know the greatness of this, I was just dwelling. The greatness of these Mahatmas, that when they feel, this is what I have experienced in my life, so I would like to say a little bit, because the whole night I was thinking about it when some incident happened, that he will chastise me so heavily, and I will never say a word. And you know, my brother-in-law, you can ask Chaitanya Prabhu, he said only Shyam Sundar can take those chastisements. But this great personality, when Tamal Krishna find out that for the reason he chastised me, I was not at the fault. So he used to call me, you know, early in the morning. And practically he was begging forgiveness from me, that Shyam Sundar, please forgive me, because it was not your fault and I chastise you so heavily. And I said, Gurudev, you have all the right to chastise, even though I'm right or wrong. So please do not feel that way. Feel free to chastise me. So we can see that when this great personality, if they have made any mistakes or something, they should, come forward and ask for the apologies without being asked by other party. That's the greatness of the Vaishnavas that I see in the life of Tamal Krishna Maharaj. So very, very rare to find those persons. If he really wants to make advancement in spiritual life, we should be truthful and we should try to do our best not to hurt anyone, because everybody has the feeling and they have their intentions to serve the Krishna in that particular ways, and we should appreciate. This is the Sangha of the devotees, where every one of us may have a different aptitude, but we have to, and maybe we may have some difference of opinions also, because we are having the influence from our previous life, and some of the things is very difficult to go into our heart initially. So there may be some difference of opinion, but Prabhupada says at the end that your love for me will be tested how you cooperate with each other. So on this wonderful day, the appearance day of BhaktiSiddhant Saraswati Maharaj, and also the disappearance day of Purushottam Das Thakur, we humbly pray at the Divine Lotus feet to invoke those feelings into our heart, that we remain steadfast in our practices. External material world is defined as everything will change. There is always will be a change in the material world, and it's temporary. So all these changes will keep on coming into our life. There will not be a single day will come where you feel, oh, I'm so peaceful that I can sit and chant the holy name. That day will never come. I think we have to practice to see and remain steadfast despite those changes comes in our life. It will constantly bombard it. But one thing is there, that if you look at the life of our acharyas, they exhibit those things, that they remain fixed. As BhaktiSiddhant Saraswati Maharaj has given 25 advice to us. Very nice instructions. So if you can follow that, then they will be very, very happy with us, and they will shower the blessings. As I think that I read that just by naming those personality, we get their blessings. What to speak of their kind association? Just remembering them will help us to remove all the anarthas that we carry for many, many lives. So I think it's already 7:01, and we will hear more about BhaktiSiddhant Saraswati Maharaj in the temple program in the evening. And I wish you all the best, and looking forward for your association tomorrow morning at 2 o'clock Central Standard Time, or you can join at your convenient time. But thank you very much for your kind association, and I would like to offer my humble obeisances at the desk of these wonderful Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Vanchkalpatarubhasya Kipashindu Bhayavacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Thank you very much. I think that